That's great. And now let's start today's event. Today topic is about the most challenging questions, and I want to have the participants to try some L4M4 questions that they may not uh, that they may not appear in study guide, but Cips still ask them in the exam. And of course, just like the recent event where we have some small prize for anyone who take part in the competition, we will have a small prize like one of the following options. First, lifetime access to a practice test of choice by your choice. We have the full test for level 4 and a selected collection for level 5. Or if you already own all these tests, then we may um, offer other alternatives like the $15 gift code for Netflix or $15 for mobile top up. Um, so I think this would from more active participation from all of you. And I hope that we may have a very helpful, very interactive, and interesting discussion. Okay, let me reintroduce the rules of this game. Today, I prepared 8 questions, and totally, you may get maximum 40 points from this question. And each answer will be recorded based on the speed of answer and the correctness. The first correct answer would get 5 points. The second correct answer would get 4, and the third get 3, the fourth get 2, and the fifth get 1. From the sixth correct answer, then we recognize 0 points. And at the end of this event, we will calculate the score and award the prize to the highest scorer. All right, so you can see that it would be quite competitive here, and I hope that the best would win. Okay, and I don't want to let you to wait anymore. Let's start the first question today. Okay, if you have any friend who may have some interest in this event, then you need to urge them to join, and potentially they may win some prize or at least get some helpful tips for the exam. Um, the competition would start shortly, so you need to urge your friend to join as soon as possible. Now, let me try the first question. Okay, the first question is about the difference between uh, public and private sector. And what is the correct answer here? I see everyone start to answer this one. There are two opinions here, A and B. Okay, so it's quite divided and pretty equally. I think the majority, a slight, minor, a small majority here is starting to select A. So far, I received 1, 2. Yeah, 10 answer and 11 from Wilson. And even I can see the explanation from Orabile Bakani. Thank you very much. Really very helpful insight and consideration. Okay, today we have 23 participants, but only 12 answers so far for question number 1. But I don't want to let you wait anymore, and let me announce the correct answer for question number 1. Okay, for question number 1, the correct answer, in my opinion, is A. Of course, I would explain this one. Jessica, please help me to close question number 1. Thank you. With question number 1, it asks about the reason why tender often has longer time scale in public sector when compared with the private sector. We are talking especially or specifically on the tender. And of course, I agree that public sector has wider stakeholder involvement. But the thing, the thing is that the public and wider involvement often happen before the tender. Once the tender starts, they need to follow the strict timeline and time scale defined by the plan and by the regulations. For example, if your country plans to build any kind of road or any kind of railway, they need to consult the idea from the expert or the local community before they run the tender, not after they decide to have a tender. Therefore, while the stakeholder involvement could be quite significant, it could take significant time during the defining the need stage, during defining need stage and market analysis stage before we run the tender. And once we run the tender, then they need to follow strict regulations and approved plan by the authority. Okay, so for question number 1, A is better answer. And you can read my written explanation here. Public sector is often governed by stringent regulations, and they often require minimum time scale for different type of tender. And this one aim at the transparency and fairness within and for every supplier involved. Now, let's start question number 2. Okay, question number 2 is about the bill leading. Bill leading may play 2 roles. Yeah, okay, I need to switch a little bit. Finally, asked about which chapter talk about this in the book. As I remember, then it should be in chapter 3. Maybe in 3.1 or 3.2, where you can, if you look at the study guide specifically, you may see a table dictate the time scale for different stages of procurement of tender within the study guide. I don't remember exactly the page, and I don't want to disrupt the strand here, but I remember that this one should be around the beginning of chapter 3. Now, let's return to question number 2. This one is about asking the role of the bill leading. You know, bill leading is pretty important document within import and export, and it may play 2 roles in procurement. So one row is about the title of ownership, and the other row is okay. That is the main theme of this question. Christina is the first one to answer, and followed by ZZ. I'm glad to see that currently we have 28 participants, and the competition, the game become very interesting. I'm still waiting for more answer. I see that the last answer from more Esas. Okay, and the answer here are only about B, anonymously. And Jessica first. Jessica, please help me to close this question and let me review the answer. Um, Lima, I don't know what happened to your side, but with our record, and you can see that from the record on Zoom, on Zoom chat, we can only recognize the record from Zoom. And with the second question, then Christina is the first one who answers. I don't see your answer so far. So I know this would be quite unfair. It would be quite unfair for students with connection. But we have no other way. We have very little tools in our toolbox to determine the correct answer. Sorry, to determine the fastest answer. We are currently rely on Zoom, so there are some disadvantage. Like you need to have instant connection, instant internet connection, and ensure that your message doesn't go into the loss, doesn't go into oblivion. It is missing during transmission. It is not removed, but I think due to your connection, then your answer is simply lost. Okay, so let me review the answer here. And because anonymous answer is B, then I think it must be the correct one. Building beside the role as the document of transferring title now, and it also has a role as a contract between the supplier and the carrier. Automobile building is, yeah, of course it is a legal document, but not between a transportation company and a shipper. Actually, we have a carrier and the seller. It is basically the contract terms for transportation, and between buyer or seller, and the other side would be a carrier or any transportation service company. It may play a role as the title of the goods, since the goods is on the ship with the shipper. Then when they go somewhere, when they go to any port, then they can handle that title to the buyer or anyone with the right documentation. Okay, so building plays two roles, as you can see from this question. Now, let's move on question number 3. This question is quite familiar, but it is not very well explained in the study guide. With this one, then it asks about the 3 levels of three level of impact. It's very hard to explain the aim of this question, but it in the exam it just goes like this, and it's very hard to identify the 3 levels of impact. For now, I can only see answer is B. Okay, any other opinion? Yeah, only Kofane has different opinion. Yeah, I'm still waiting for more answers. Okay, so the other answers are only about B, only B. Any other opinion? There are 31 participants now. Okay, let me review the answer. Jessica, remember to close question 3. Thank you. So with this question, it specifically asks ethical issues may affect sourcing requirements from supplier at which 3 levels. Let me interpret this statement, this question. Okay, so it asking like when we have ethical requirements, when we have ethical issues, when we have ethical requirements, then how these requirements may affect the specification and other qualification from suppliers, and at which level they may affect. Right. So there are three levels. There are three levels that we need to consider when we source some product from supplier, and we need to include our consideration in all those three levels, right? And the correct answer here is A, macro, corporate, and individual. Congratulations to Gopalne, who has the only correct answer today for this question. And for this one, let me show you the detailed explanation here. As I explained, then here it means like when we source some product from the supplier, then ethical issue may have the impact on three levels. We need to consider about three levels when we include the ethical issue here. At macro level, then we need to look at the wider picture at the impact of our purchase on the society and on environment as general. And we need to keep our practice in line with the international standards. At corporate levels, then it means that the supplier itself must certify some standards, like it needs to have the CSR policy and the code conduct. And at individual level, it requires that each employee from both outside, from both our organization and from the supplier must follow certain ethical standard and behavior. So the answer here is three level: macro, corporate, and individual. It means that when we source something, we need to consider about ethical issues, and the ethical issue may have the consideration at three level. Macro, we need to follow the general standard, international standard. Corporate, both our organization and supplier needs to have stringent and specific code conduct or CSR policy. And individual, the individuals, the employees from both sides should follow the standard and have the suitable action, have the adequate action to execute those standards. Okay, this question could be quite hard, especially when it provide very little context from study guide. So I hope that through this explanation, you may have better preparation for L4M4 exam. Okay, let's continue with question number 4. For this one, we have a little bit of context. You are about to purchase 500 pens of specific brand. Whether we should use the weighted score system here. Okay, I can see the answer here from Zizi, from Gopalne, Wema, Minas, Mita. Okay, so Wema switch from D to B. And the majority select B. Otherwise, I see that there are other opinions on D and no one selects C. Okay, I can understand why you don't select C. Right, I think this question should be closed, and I need to switch to I need to review the answer. Jessica, close this question for me. Yeah, okay. Thank you. With the question, we have very specific situation where you need to purchase 500 pens from a specific brand, and you are about to use a weighted score system for the assessment, and is this appropriate? The answer here is no, because for this purchase, the major concern, sorry, not the major concern, but the only concern is about the price. With weighted score system, we should only use them when we have multiple criteria to consider. For 500 pens, then first, they tend to be not very significant purchase. And second, OZ pens come from a specific brand. So there's no benchmark for quality assessment, and therefore we only consider about the price only. With A, the problem is that the weighted score system is not always the best way. It may not be suitable for single criterion assessment like this one about the price only. And with D, the thing is not about the high spend or not. It's about the number of criteria. If you only have one criteria, there's no reason to select weighted score. But if you have multiple criteria, then there must be the weighted score system. Okay, so I see some opinion from ZZ and Joanna. With ZZ, B and D are absolutely different. For B, then the main concern is price. For D, it's about high spend or low spend. High spend or low spend is just a relative term. For certain business, 500 pen could be a for small business, 500 pen could be a big purchase, but for larger corporation, 500 pen could be small. And it's not high and low spend here. It's just about the relative value of the purchase compared with the portfolio of that organization. And with Jonah, but the question didn't specifically say price. Okay, but it is implied. Jonah, of course, whenever you purchase something, one of the key concern is about the price. And especially when the products here have a certain standard and it is kind of like a commodity. It is a commodity. With a commodity, then the only concern is about the price. Commodity means they have the same quality, they are standardized, nothing could be compared with the quality anymore. Okay, they are highly standardized and you don't have any other consideration other than the price. You already know about the quality already. The lead time could be a concern, but it's not that significant in this question. Since just 500 pence, okay, and any big enough supplier can do that. Okay, so you may read my written explanation here. It could be quite straightforward. It could be and it is quite standardized, and therefore the price is sufficient. The price only is sufficient. Whether the score system is suitable for more complex when we need to consider multiple factors. Okay. Now, let's start question number 5. Okay, we have a ISO standard for gift and for the control of gift and hospitality. And what ISO standard is that? Yeah, and for this question, the answer is only B. Okay, so far I can see that from students. Pamela, please wait. I would return to the explanation of Q4 after I review the answer for Q5. Please wait. Yeah, Pamela, I agree that the explanation is talking about something of high value, but the main concern is still about the price. And even with relatively low value purchase, but with multiple criteria and with scarcity, we may still need to consider about weighted score. Yeah, thank you, Rabile. Um, the system we are talking now is about anti-bribery management system, and that is okay. First, Jessica, please help me to close Q5. Yeah, and that system is ISO 37001. This is a international system for anti-bribery, and it provides the framework for all nations. It provides the process and the structure for all nations to prevent, detect, and address bribery, including the control of gift and hospitality. Okay, now I would return to the explanation of Q4 as the request from Pamela. Of course, I write something about whether the point system is more suitable for more complex or high-value procurement. But even with relatively low value, but still complex, and we need to consider multiple factors, like the item is a bottleneck or its quality varies greatly, then we may still consider about using the weighted score, So it's less about the high span, but more about the complexity. Now, I would return to Q5. Okay, so 37001 is the standard for anti-bribery measurement system. All right, and you can search for more details from the internet and from ISO website. Now, let's go to question number 6. When you need to select two options from this question. Okay, for this one, then it is about financial ratios. Okay, and this question addressed specifically about the gross profit margin ratio. Pamela, let me repeat again. The weighted score system is less about the high or low value. It's more about the complexity. If the purchase has high complex and you need to consider multiple factors, then you need to use that. Even if it has low value, relatively low value. Okay, I will see the answer for question number 6 appear. Answer from Zizi, Govane, Christina, Orabile, Alexander. And the majority, the vast majority here is about B and D. Okay, any other opinion? I can see that the majority here is about B and D. And there are some deviations like A and D, A and C, for example. Okay, let's review the answer for question number 6. Jessica, close question number 6, please. And the answer here, we are talking specifically about the gross profit margin. And the formula for gross profit margin is revenue minus the cost of goods sold divided by revenue or sale. So the answer here contains B and D. Congratulations. With A, total current assets, and C, current liability, we could use them to calculate the current ratio. current ratio and profitability ratio, like gross profit margin, are totally different. With liquidity ratio, like current ratio, then it is about the ability to pay off the short-term debt, while profit margin ratio is more about assessing the efficiency in operations and whether this business is getting any profit, at least for the past period. Okay, so you can read more specific and detailed explanation here. We take to calculate gross profit margin ratio, we take the gross profit and dividing it by income from sale or the revenue. Okay, and this one show the proportion that we have left when we remove the cost of goods sold or the direct cost for the organization. Congratulations to anyone answer with B and D. Now, let's start question number 7. Question number 7, again, a scenario where we have a buyer from the police force who is about to purchase from overseas, and he doesn't want to have the currency exchange risk. And what solution he may suggest here? So we have two opinions, as I can see from the answer. Either B, asks the supplier to quote in GBP sterling, or D, request to use exchange rate at the time of delivery. Major consideration when we make any decision regarding international sourcing is that we can purchase the product with the lower price. And however, if it is not managed, then that price could go even higher than purchased domestically, especially when the currency fluctuates. Therefore, we need to manage the currency fluctuation risk closely. And for this question, you are about to suggest a solution to that question. Now, you can see that the majority here is about B, is into B. Okay, still B and D. There are some answer with D. And let's see if D is correct. Jessica, help me to, uh, yeah, close question number 7. Okay, so for this question, in my opinion, then the answer should be B, to ask the suppliers to quote in GBP. With this question, then ASRAM wants to remove the risk of currency fluctuation. It is not necessarily mean he is looking for the best solution, but he just want to eliminate the risk. So to eliminate the risk and potentially or essentially transfer the risk to the supplier, then he can ask supplier to quote in GBP. With D, request to use the exchange rate at the time delivery or at the time, or we can call it use the spot price at the time delivery. It means that the exchange rate here is not fixed, and we just leave it fluctuate until the product is delivered, and it goes against the purpose of ASRAM. Second, another problem is that the exchange rate that we prepare the budget for at the time of budget is very different at the time of delivery, and that may go beyond what we are budgeted for. Therefore, with D, then although you can capture more favorable currency fluctuation, but it does not eliminate the risk as from once. So we need to rely on the purpose here. He wants to remove the risk. Therefore, we need to select the answer that eliminates the risk. For Ashram, then this approach ensures that the cost remains the same regardless of the change in the currency. And it essentially transfers the risk of fluctuation from the buyer to the supplier. But it doesn't mean that Ashram is purchasing value for money. Since the supplier may also, they have their own calculation and they don't want to suffer any loss from currency exchange. Therefore, they may rise the price a little bit to compensate for their pain and to hedge against their risk. Therefore, this could be not the ideal position, and there could be other way to hedge the currency. However, considering Ashram purpose is to eliminate the risk, then this could be his ideal choice. Okay, so we may close question number 7 here, and let's go to our final question today, question number 8. For this question, then we have a scenario where they want to import a certain equipment, a certain piece of furniture, and they need to complete a form. So what form is this? What form is this? ZZ, very quick. So A, Joanna, A. And also other answers are all about A, are all into A. Okay, I currently receive like yeah, for each question, approximately I receive about 12 to 13 answers. And for this question, I am receiving 12 answers and all of them about A. Right, Jessica, you can close this question. We can finish this soon. Thank you. With question number 8, then the answer is A. With A, we have the bill entry, and the bill entry is basically the like a custom declaration. In that document, you state specifically about the quantity and the description of the imported goods into a country. It provides detailed information about the name, the description, the value, quantity, and to ensure that all duties and taxes are assessed and paid. So this is a key document considering the scenario here. You can see that in scenario, the keyword here is appropriate documentation for custom. Custom. Okay, so it must be about a custom declaration, and the bill entry is that document. Okay, so that is the final question today. And Jessica, can you help me to summarize who is the winner today? Who is the winner? Okay, just wait for Jessica. And I just show this because I want to repeat the prize that you may get from any our event. Only one winner will get this. And the prize include one of the following. Okay, a lifetime access to any test of your choice, or a gift code for Netflix has a value of $50 or a $15 mobile top up. In the future, we may try to find a way to diversify our set of reward and potentially expand to the runner-up and the third place. But currently, we can only spend our budget on one winner only.
Daniel, I have sent you.
Yeah.
No, okay.
I haven't seen that. Could you? Oh, all right. I know. I know. It's good. I'm looking at the result. Okay, so this is the result. All right, so we are looking at the result, and you can see that there are a lot of score recorded, and the winner today is GoFundMe, followed by ZZ and Alexander. Okay, congratulations, GoFundMe. Do you want to have anything to talk with us? Okay, please wait. I need to allow GoFundMe to speak. Fane, can you turn on the micro and tell me which price would you prefer today? Yeah, of course. Zizi, I can forward the result. Gofane, are you there? Oh, Gofane is not connecting to audio. All right, so I think I would inbox her later. Okay, please wait. I will share the screen soon. Gofane, are you there? Okay, I need to message her directly. You're welcome, Alexander. I hope that next time you can get the better result. And you can see that the results are pretty close. Kofane gets 19 points, while ZZ gets 18 and.
Hello, I'm here.
Yeah, hi, Kofane. Congratulations.
Hello, thank you very much.
Yeah. What is your preferred price for today?
I prefer to have practice test.
Yeah, for which module? We have the full set for level 4. Remember that you only need, you can only select one module.
L4M4.
L4M4, of course. Okay,
Yeah.
so I will send it to you to your email by Monday. Okay, so please wait.
Okay. Yeah, I will appreciate it.
And finally, before we leave, before we leave, then I have some words for you. Okay, remember that we always want to support Cips student, and I can see the message from Christina. When the next quiz, remember that we organize the weekly event regularly, and next week would be about, let me check my calendar. Next week would be on Sunday at the same time, 10 a.m. in GMT in Central African time, or 11 a.m. in East African time. And next week event would be on Sunday, 20th of October 2024, with the topic on L4M2 and the same practice with L4M2 challenging questions. So I expect to see you there. And remember that we are offering the discount code for our EDB question. If you don't have any module, then you can search for that module from EDB and please go for Daniel. And see you next Sunday. Okay, remember to contact us anytime with the WhatsApp with this number, and our email is always open for your opinion and feedback. And remember to visit our website where we post very helpful material for your study. Thank you everyone, and see you next time. Goodbye. Enjoy your weekend.